This engine was seconds from disaster. I cannot believe they've been driving around in this condition. You guys hear that? That's not a good noise. This right here is a 2012 Honda. It's the Pilot with a 3.5 liter V6 engine. Customer states it's making a clicking noise while the engine's running. And I've got it in the shop here. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this unit. So at, looks like 186,386 miles on the odometer, it appears that this thing may be suffering from a catastrophic failure of some sort. I'm not really sure what the noise is. It sounds internal, so I'm going to teach you guys how to go through the troubleshooting process to narrow down where noise, harshness, and vibrations can come from. Let's let this down a wee little bit. I need some better access, it's up too high. By the way, hello everybody, good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you guys are here. I am super glad to be here as always. For those of you who do not know or are new to the channel, my name is Ray, and this is the Rayman Ray's Repairs Automotive YouTube channel. This is an unscripted, real-life automotive channel. I take in customers' cars, I don't script it, I don't know what the jobs are. I take them in, I diagnose them, I perform the repairs, and I take you guys along with me. So, to better attempt to diagnose this, we want to establish a few things. Is this noise from inside of the engine, or is it from the outside of the engine? And what I mean by that is we have this accessory drive belt here on the front of this motor. And there's a belt tensioner, there's a pulley that runs the whole deal. We've got an alternator, an AC compressor, and some idler pulleys. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to isolate the belt from the rest of the system here while the engine's running, and we're gonna see if the noise goes away or stays there. So what I'm doing down here is reaching down to the belt tensioner. That's the accessory belt tensioner, not the timing belt tensioner. And we're gonna put this wrench on the tensioner, so when I actuate the tensioner, it will loosen the belt. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna start and run the engine. We're gonna hear the noise. I'm then going to take the belt loose with it running. The belt's gonna slip and it's gonna make a squealy sound, but what we're trying to determine is if we can isolate that rattle noise, starting the engine. Reach in there. Oh, that's far away. There we go. So we're gonna come back around. Flashlight, there we go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push on this wrench. It's gonna loosen that tensioner. And if the noise stops, then we know the noise is external. There's our belt slip. The noise is still there, the frequency remains. So that's not the problem. Let's go ahead and speed it back up. Get my tool back. Okay. Real quick before we run this thing up, let's take a moment to thank this video's sponsor. I'd like to take this moment to thank Blue Jean Financial at bluejeanfinancial.com. Have you ever wanted to enter into the retirement market, called a broker, and then found out there is a huge front load and gigantic cost and barrier to entry into long-term financial investing? That's what Blue Jean Financial noticed, and they have created a platform and a system that allows anybody and everybody to enter into the market without writing a 5-figure check. They have been able to offer individualized and personalized strategies for you depending on your budget so that you may enter the market. So if you or anyone you know is interested in entering into the financial markets or altering your retirement strategy, give Blue Jean Financial a call. Check out their website, bluejeanfinancial.com. Get in touch with them, let them know your situation, and see what they can do for you. Legal disclaimer, this was a paid advertisement as a channel partner. I personally do not utilize their services because that is an SEC violation and it is illegal for me to do so and recommend it to you at the same time. But I do business with these people based on morals, ethics, and like-minded personalities. So now let's see what we can do about fixing this guy's Honda Pilot without having to make him break into his financial retirement portfolio. Green subscribe button, moving on up. Let's get at this thing from the bottom side and see what's going on down there. All right, all the way up. let's see what's going on down here. All right, so the closer we get, the louder the noise is becoming. Let me get in there a little deeper like. We've got, there's our crank pulley. I hear it for sure. I definitely hear some noise.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I think that's internal for sure. Tell you what. Ow, that's hot. This right here, that's the timing chain tensioner. I think that tensioner's failed. Check this out. Put my microphone against it. Look at that. Look over here. Not so much. So I hope the camera picks up on it, but I think that's a failed timing chain tensioner in there. I believe that's what the deal is. I've also got a leak in CV axle. Not a huge deal. There's a broken control arm bushing. There's another broken control arm bushing. You see the crack? It's like from the 11 o'clock down to the 8 o'clock position. Then some more crack at the 5:30 position right down there. All right. A little bit of an oil leak. Not a huge dealio. Okay. So I think it's the tensioner making the noise. Let's let the car down and see if we can't pull one of the covers off and inspect the timing belt. Down, down, down. Honda going down. Did you guys notice that this Honda has drilled and slotted brake rotors? It's a high performance pilot. And shut down. So here's the deal. We're gonna find that there's some plastic front covers in the front of this engine. We're gonna get in there, pull a couple of those covers off, and we're gonna inspect the condition of the timing belt. So from the looks of things, the serpentine belt is in front of this front cover right here. That's our cover right there. But that rear cover appears to be accessible. So we're gonna go in and pull this rear cover off. It should just be a series of 10 mils. We'll get some from the top and some from the bottom. It's okay, it hit the ground. We're good. We must not lose these. These are, oh, I'm gonna drop it. These are shouldered bolts. See how it's got that shank on it right there? This is designed to bottom out against the thread surface, like the front of the cylinder head, so you cannot over torque and break the plastic on the cover. So if you lose that and then you try to replace it with a regular bolt, you'll break your cover off, and that's not good to break your cover off. We don't like to do that. Quick socket change. Socket to me. Drop that one too. Okay, I got one more off when you guys weren't looking, so I think that's all the bolts here. Sure is. Ruh-roh. See that? That's belt material. That's not good. Yeah, I see some chowder marks on that belt. That's not good at all. And then I think that belt's actually loose, and it is. Look at that. See that? That's our timing belt right there. So the tensioner has failed on the belt. This thing needs a timing belt water pump. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna need to start disassembling a few things in here to gain some more access to the rest of these covers. We're gonna be doing this from the top side and the bottom side through the wheel well and whatnot, because the motor sits down kind of low. The coolant's gonna be in the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and suction the coolant out of this unit right here. That's like purple. That's interesting. I wonder how hot this is, because it was running. I don't want to third-degree burn myself. You should never do this with hot coolant. I'm highly experienced at being reckless, so do as I say, not as I do. Don't open hot radiators. So yeah, I'm gonna suction that stuff down. We're gonna start by pulling off this overflow tank right here, so we'll pull that tank empty. We probably need to take the power steering reservoir away and get that out of the way. This PCM's kind of in the way, and that motor mount down there's in the way, along with these AC lines. So there's a lot of stuff that's gotta get disassembled here. Okay, I've rolled over my coolant recovery machine. It's going to vacuum the coolant out, and it's gonna do that with air pressure. Pretty cool, actually. It runs a Venturi through there that creates a vacuum inside of the recovery tank. You can see it pulling down into a vacuum. So when we put our business end in words and then hit the button, it's gonna suction out all of the engine coolant. So we're gonna start with, make sure I got this going the right direction. Oh, what a cool sound it makes. All right, that's screwing around. See, that's the thing about mechanics. Everything can be a big giant game to us in our own little way. Okay, we're gonna suction this thing down, put that over and lock it in. It should create something of a seal right here on the radiator, and it's gonna end up collapsing the hoses. See that hose? Up, the cloth vacuum. Put that back on. Sucking the hose down. See it collapsing? Uncollapsed, recollapsed. It's going to suction out some of this coolant, some of it. And then as we break into the hoses, we can suction out the remainder. Same thing here with the tank. We're just going to suction this thing down, get rid of all the antifreeze that is inside of the surge tank. They call it a overflow tank, but it's actually a surge tank, because as coolant expands and cools, heats and cools, it will expand and contract. And since the radiator and the rest of the system is a closed system, we've got to have a tank here to catch the excess. Shut that thing back down. All good. You go over there. Next, let's take out the AC machine and recover all of the refrigerant, because I need to crack into this line here and get it out of the way. I could probably work around it, but I don't want to. That's frustrating. Just put this thing back over here. Give me some space. That's good. This guy's gonna probably come out. I may end up suctioning this down and just taking the line off for the power steering. That's gonna be not great to work around. Next machine is gonna be the air conditioning, refrigerant recovery and storage machine. Position this thing over yonder like so. Plug it in, hook it up. It's going to recover all the refrigerant in the system, or Freon. Freon's a brand name. It's not a refrigerant. We're going to hook this guy up, recover everything, and then we can open the system up. So we just connect our service ports. That's the high side here, the red one. Ooh, that's getting a little gritty. These things wear out, especially if you over tighten them. There we go. Wake up. Okay, let's go ahead and recover. Do not save service records, connecting hoses to service ports. We've done that. It's checking for pressures at the hoses, which is there. No snapshot needed. It takes a picture of the measurements. Now, what we do need to do is take the paper on the repair order though, keep that handy, because when this thing is done recovering, it's gonna report how much it took out. There's a scale inside on the tank. It'll report what we took out, and then we can use that information to determine whether or not this system was low or not. It's not what it's here for, but it's good to do your due diligence when doing your due diligence. So anyways, when this is done recovering, we're gonna crack into this line right here, take the mount off here, take that mount off there. We may unbolt it from the firewall to get it out of the way. I've decided just now that I am going to recover all of this power steering oil because that's going to get spilled at some point. So let's get another machine to do that next. That's an easy one. We will use the rear differential fluid exchange machine. It's an electric pump designed to pump fluid out and to pump fluid in. So we'll just use this guy to evacuate. Plug it in, plug it in. Why is there a Jeep gasket here? It's for a water pump on a Jeep. Can't you tell? So what we do, take the hose into the machine, power the pump on, open the valve, we have suction, and we're just gonna suck out all that fluid in the hole. Very nice. Then when that's done, I'll break open the line, put the hose into the line and suck out as much of this as possible so we can mitigate our spillages. Very nice.
Pilot?
What, this?
Yes.
This is the pilot.
Oh goody, I have a
Your timing. Here, put all my parts, just throw them over there. How are you?
I'm good.
Say hi.
Hi.
To the camera.
I'm teaching the children today.
Oh yeah? What are you teaching them?
Every day. Math and, well, we're learning about 2D and 3D shapes with our littlest and areas, circumference, and all that stuff.
That is wonderful. Pi r squared. I tried teaching Jack pi r squared. He wasn't having it.
3.14.
Yeah, he's like, how do you know that? Because Dad knows everything. Duh. Okay, so our suction in is running dry. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Close the valve for protocol. Put the stopper back in, and then we can pull the hose off down yonder. So it appears, based on the fact that Lauren just brought me some parts, that we've gotten an approval on this. So, since it's approved, now we're not diagnosing anymore, we're gonna be repairing. So it looks like we're turning this into a timing chain job, and I just spilt fluid everywhere. Yay. Oh goody. All right. So I've mitigated my mess as much as I think I possibly can. So we're done with this machine for now. Since I've spilt fluid everywhere, I'm gonna wash that business off of there so I don't get it ground into my forearms. Nice and easy like. Some Detco brake clean. It smells bad, but it gets the job done. That's the rule about brake clean. The more it stinks, the better of a job it does of cleaning your petroleum products. Available at rainmanauto.com. There we go. Save you for later. Okay, AC pressures are nearing zero, so the system is almost fully recovered. Let's go ahead and start taking some brackets off for these AC lines. Actually, before that, I'm gonna take this bracket off because I can just see this bracket tearing some skin off of me later on. So we're gonna pull this thing away right now. You guys often ask in the comments, how do I keep track of bolts? Let me show you. There's 2 bolts, 1 part, right? Just gonna take that and just put it right over there where it's safe, and now the bolts are with the part, so now I don't have to keep track of it. So there, this thing, we can just kind of just put that down there so it's out of the way. With the AC now empty, we can get these hoses out of the way. Throw those off to the side, shut the machine down to save some electron money. And we're gonna take this 10 mil, take that one loose. It's under vacuum. Now it's no longer under vacuum. We'll put the nut back so it does not become lost. And then this end of the hose, we'll put that down there with the power steering pump. Now that's out of the way. 1 bracket. And then there's more to this bracket down in here. Very good. If we follow this AC line, we can see it's connecting here and connecting there to the firewall. There's one 10 mil nut at that, and then we've got this double nut flare assembly thing right here. So we're gonna go in with a couple wrenches. What I'm going to do, see how this is nice and flexy? I don't want to damage it, so I'm going to squeeze these wrenches together to create the turn force to make this connection here separate, if I can. Okay, it turned. I think it turned. There we go. By squeezing the wrenches together, all the force was localized right there at the fitting, and I didn't put any torque on the lines, bending the lines, because they are soft, squishy aluminum, and they bend quite easily. Sneaking around, got one more 10 mil. Oh, I'm gonna drop it, I'm gonna drop it, I'm gonna drop it. I didn't drop it, good. Our line. Because power steering is already opened and this line is here, let's just go ahead and take it off the pump, and we'll get this line out of the way as well. This is our pressure line leaving the pump. So that's the return from the reservoir. This is pressure down to the steering gear. Another thing about these is this O-ring likes to leak everywhere, and people will often replace the pump because there's an O-ring leak. It's usually just the O-ring. So now, take this guy and stick that off to the side, put it by some heater core hoses on the firewall, and we have even more space to play with. I believe it would be best if I remove this ECM because of this big bracket sticking here. So we're gonna unbolt. Yeah, I've got to get to that motor mount down there. So yeah, this definitely has to come off. Let's pull the wires off of it. The bracket, that's what I'm talking about. And I think we need to take the ECM off of the actual bracket as well. A series of 10 milli nuts. That one didn't hit the ground. It's in there somewhere, and there should be, I think there's another nut on the bottom, and there is. And that was a socket. So I shall need to disconnect these ECM connectors because the bolt is behind this one. Yes, the battery has been disconnected. It's not a live battery, not a live ECM rather. Engine control module. Its sole purpose is to control the fuel burn. That's all it does, is fuel. Okay, so we got 110 at the bottom. That was violent. I did like a, that one fell down. Yeah, I was saying I did like a neutral drop burnout on that last one. And then there should be one more, yeah, way down there. Reload. Ooh, can't see. No. I'm 1,000% gonna drop that one, I think. Ah, no, I'm not. Got it. Come on, bracket. There is a connector attached to it. Got it. Now we're getting places. Let's pull this piece of the harness off of that bracket and we'll disconnect this guy to separate the harness so I can take this and lay it off to the side. Let's see here. Little plastic tab. Pull the rocker back. There we go. We'll just put this, stick it right there for now. Round 2. Fight. That's not enough. I ran out. Another! Shiny. Nice and shiny. Okay, so now we're going to come back in here with this ratchet wrench and we're going to pull the serpentine belt off of the front of the engine. Get rid of that guy. Off the crank, off the AC. Voila. I think I would like to remove this power steering pump. So I'm going to pull this bottom bolt out of it. Ooh, tight squeeze. I think there's just 2 bolts. There might be 3. There's one on the back side here. Nope, just 2 bolts. Oh, that's warm. Hot. Toyota, hot, hot, hot. Power steering pump, hot, hot, hot. Put the bolt back in. Put this one back in. We can set this thing off to the side. So now we should take the tensioner, and it looks like the idler pulley is part of the tensioner. Let's take this guy off, because the tensioner pulley is in the front of this cover right here. So we're gonna pull the whole tensioner off the front. If I can get my bolt back on, or my tool back on the bolt, which I can't. Womp, womp, womp. Okay. Yeah, low profile socket on the end of gigantically long electron ratchet. I'm not correct in what I'm doing here because that tensioner has not wanted to budge. The idler pulley wants to come off most of the way. That's a problem. Okay. I'm gonna take the pulley off of the tensioner, this top one. These usually don't come off. This is probably reverse thread. And it is, yep. Left-handed thread. So we're gonna take that pulley off because I can't really see what's going on down there. Tightening is loosening. Loosening is tightening. I can't tell what the deal is with this. How does that come out of there? No, it's not going to come out. Not enough space. So there's got to be another bolt somewhere. I think that's it right there. There's another one. See it? Let's take that bolt off. See what happens. Is that an alternator bolt? It was. It's So there is and was a second fastener at the bottom of the tensioner, and I already have a socket on the fastener. I'm just trying to meet up with it with this extension right here so we can break the thing loose. There we go, we're on. Ah, there it goes, it moved, see it? So there's two bolts, the one in the center that doesn't come off, and then one at the bottom. I think I've done this to myself before where I started taking tensioners apart and I didn't have to. I just had to see what I was trying to see. Okay, that's our bottom bolt. Now with this housing loose, that was a nut that is a left-handed threaded nut. I hope it hit the ground because it fell out of the back of here. This is the most important nut. Alrighty, now we can get to the bolts on this other cover. Pull these guys out. Thinking one more in that hole. I'm sure there's another one. Yeah, there's one way down there. I can feel it. Can I reach it? No. Maybe around the back. I'll give this the motor mount reach around treatment here. I feel it. There's another one right here we can't see. And then another one right there that we can't see. That was not it. I mean, it was one, but not the one. Oh, I'm silly. Look, watch. It was hooked in right here. Yeah. Okay, well, we have a partial timing belt. Look at that. See that thing all chewed up? That thing's definitely on its way out. It's chewed up from slapping around due to not having any tension on it. Look at here. Look at that. It's been riding on this little face right there, scoring it up. Look at that. I can take this belt off without even taking the tensioner out. I could slide that off, no problem. It's slack on both sides. That's crazy. And they drove this thing in here like that. Okay, so from the looks of it, up here, there's not much more we can do from this side. Let's go ahead, revisit our green subscribe button. We'll run this thing up in the air. I'm gonna pull the wheel off of it, probably the inner fender liner, and that's gonna give us access to the front of the engine from the bottom side. We'll take the bottom cover off, the crank pulley, and anything else that's in the way so we can get access to the timing belt system. So this is cute. So we got regular lug nuts here, right? These are 22 millimeters. Then we've got this wheel lock just sticking out like a sore thumb. We've got a key here, and the little cut pattern inside fits with the cut pattern on the little deal though, or the little dealio, yo.
My name is Skylar White, yo. My husband is Walter White, yo. Uh-huh.
Which allows you to put a drive tool on this. The trouble is these are not as effective as you think they are, especially against a thief.
Oh, that's horrible. And that's an invasion of your personal property, you know. That's almost like breaking into your home.
Home security video recorded two men stealing tires and rims from a driveway.
because I can take this socket right here, another 22 millimeter socket, and fit that over this guy right here, hammer that guy on with a mallet or a hammer, and it will go on because it's already halfway there. Hammer this on, and the friction between these flats and the hammered in section there will be enough most of the time to pull this lug nut off of here. So these are not exactly as effective as one would think that they are, especially in that application. If this was a recessed lug nut where it was flush against the face of the wheel and then it had like the spinning ring on the outside of it as a safety device, then that could prevent theft, but this right here, it's no more of a deterrent than an actual lug nut. Okay, give this a couple tappy taps with the hand hammer, and we've got some more access here. I have taken all the fasteners out of this inner fender liner thing. Huh. Hey look, I found an old light bulb. I wonder if I had a headlight go out once. Found it. And voila, we have some space. How about that? So this is the infamous Honda crankshaft bolt. This is the can never ever remove it no matter how many impact guns you put on it bolt. That thing never comes out. So there's a couple ways to do it. There's a special tool to lock in and hold the crankshaft. Then there's another special tool, which is basically a 19 socket with a whole bunch of mass built into it. See that? This is all steel right here. The extra mass delivers the rotational torque on occasion to get that out. So we're gonna try it with the impact and the big socket first. Then if that doesn't cut it, we will we'll lock the crank in with the tool there. Let's see what happens. Big socket for the win. You know, I probably should have done that with a regular socket to demonstrate what I was talking about. Now you guys just have to take my word for it. Anyway, crank pulley becomes removed. Now, these are actually vibration dampeners. When you have these off, or even when they're on the car, you want to check this rubber insert right here, because this outer band is one piece of metal and this inner hub is another piece of metal, and it's press fit together with this insert that runs the full width of the unit. See that? This rubber can degrade and fall apart, and then the two halves of your pulley will flip-flop around. It'll vibrate, make noise, ruin your front crank seal, and potentially cause internal engine problems if neglected for too long. So, there's our next cover. We've got some of it disconnected with the bolts. It looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more fasteners to go, and it's ready to come out. Let's zip through these bolts as quick as we can here. That wasn't quick. Seriously? Are we gonna drop every one of these on the ground? Yes. Hello. Goodbye, kid.
What?
I said bye. There we go. Ugh, carnage. I see more rubber shavings. So, we've got a bunch of slackness up at the top between the two cams, right? This is tight, this is tight. So what I'm gonna do is go in there with a ratchet. We're gonna take this back cam and we're gonna turn the cam reverse direction. That's gonna tighten up top where all that slack is, and it's gonna put some slack here so we can check the actual tensioner. I believe that this tensioner is where the failure has occurred. So let's put a 19, not a 19, how about a 17, flip it around. Yep, 17. So watch the top belt. It's going to become tight when I rotate this guy counterclockwise. go. And you saw the tensioner moving, right? See the plunger coming out? But what it's doing is just falling back in. Watch this. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to turn this cam clockwise now. And it's going to slacken the, yeah, you saw it just then. See that thing collapse in? That was fast. Back the other way. Yeah. There it is. See that thing? That tensioner should not be doing that the way it's doing it. Operate it one more time. Yep, so we got a failed tensioner. Now, we could have gotten away with just putting a tensioner in there because that can be removed externally. But the problem lies in the belt itself. This belt's been damaged. So what we're going to do is do timing belt, water pump, and belt and a tensioner. That's going to be the fix for this particular vehicle. So next, we need to get this engine ready for the timing system to be disassembled. So I'm going to take this little guy off right here, and we're looking for, see a little Woodruff key right there? I don't know if you can see it. There's a little dot mark right there on that sprocket. That little dot mark is supposed to line up with this little arrow right here, which is at the 12 o'clock position relative to what we're looking at. So what I'm going to do, and I took a little ring thing off because it won't clear this washer. What I'm going to do is put this crank bolt back in, tighten it down, then use this to back this away slightly so we can adjust the crankshaft position with a wrench. Gravity. Couple clickages, there we go. So now you can put a wrench on it and turn the crank. Reverse mode. Back this away. Now we need to pull tension on this belt in a direction which is normal for crankshaft rotation. Right now we're going opposite. So we've gone past our marks with little dots, right? Now we're going to move forward, get it all lined up, or close to it. Right there, it's our 12 o'clock position. Good. So theoretically, everything on this side should be slack and on this side should be tight. So we're tight, you guys can't see up there. So this one's tight, that one's tight. That one in the middle between the cams is still slightly slack, but this is very, very slack over here. Yeah, you can see, do that by hand, look at that. Junk. Next task is we're gonna take this 2x4, we're gonna lay that down on top of the frame against the oil pan right there, because later on when we take that motor mount out, this engine's one is going to want to fall down. So we shove that piece of wood in there, it cannot fall down, then we can pull the assembly off. So let's let the truck, car, SUV, van back down, go back to the top side and attack the motor mount, get that out of the way. Once that's out of the way, everything on the timing chain is free and clear. Timing belt, we can pull the belt off and then we'll pull the water pump off afterwards. That's the plan. Couple 14s. The motor should fall down. It kind of didn't really move. I wonder if this mount's broken right here. I think it is. It's awfully flippy floppy. Let's take the half of it off and take a look at it. Was it got a 17 down there? Yeah. That mount is bolted on with a ground connector Okay, and the survey says that's a broken mount. Oh yeah, 17, 17, and 17 to take it out. That sounded crusty. Look at that. Nasty. It's rust-o-matic. Crustified. Broken motor mount. See it? Das ist nicht gut. Oops. Yeah, look at that. Nasty. So this big plate thing here, there's a bolt there. There's one somewhere right under it, right in there. And then inside of this hole here, there's another one. So those are the 3 fasteners that bolts this second half of the mount to the engine block itself. So we got to go in there and pull those 3 fasteners out next. We'll get the hard one first. If I can get a tool on it. Oh no, I can't get the tool on it. I think I need a shorter socket. Unclick. Yeah, definitely a shorter socket. Manual unclicks. Just can't get a power tool in there, so I won't use the power tool. Okay, that's 2. Last one. That little guy hiding in a hole. Not the last one. There's a 10 on a piece of plastic. So it's almost the last one. There's our water pump. Okay, so you guys already saw, I've got a timing belt and a tensioner kit, which comes with the water pump. The belt's in there. So what we need to do, we're gonna do this in the morning because the doors are already getting closed up. Dave's ready to rock and roll. It's 4 o'clock, so we're leaving. Tomorrow, we're gonna restart on this. We're gonna pull this off, clean up everything, check for any other damages to the pulleys or anything like that, which I don't think we're gonna find any. Once we clean all that off, we're gonna put the new pump in and reassemble, and this thing should be good to go. So that being said, I've got nothing more to offer you on this particular video other than a reminder that there will be a part 2 coming out the next video that I post. So be sure to look out for that one. If you would like to make sure you get a notification for the next video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and then turn on the notification bell. There's a little bell down there next to the subscribe button. That will allow YouTube to send you an alert to your device whenever I post a video. That way you do not miss any future content. So that being said, thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I'm assuming you liked this video. If you did like this video, communicate that to me and to her effectively by engaging the like button down below. Drop us a comment too while you're down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a Honda, into part 1 teardown, into transmission.